I'm going to give you 5 ways to connect with industry leaders, and I'm going to give you one way that most people don't think about. My name's Jerry Beerman. I'm the owner of Alluring. I'm the co-founder of CAP and Conduit. The number one way to connect with industry leaders is through social media, right? One of the reasons we make these videos is how do I connect with other leaders in the marketplace? And we know through LinkedIn, not a ton in the trades, but Facebook, there's a bunch. Instagram, TikTok's picking up. Social media does provide a space where your industry leaders are active, right? So again, you can get on social media and you can, whether it's yourself or your team, and you can identify industry leaders that you want to connect with. You can follow them on social media. You can DM them. You can reach out to them. You can have a strategy to connect with them. Social media is a great platform for you to identify industry leaders. The second way to connect with industry leaders is through trade events, right? So in my industry, it's the Home Builders Association, NARI, it's organizations like Conduit, NKBA, ACIDS, et cetera, CRAN, through the AIA. There's trade associations that is bringing industry leaders in. It's a great place for you to go and meet those folks, right? So get a directory of the different trade associations in your community. And then if you don't already know somebody there, show up, get to know some of the people. And I hate the word networking, but that's in essence what you're doing is building relationships in these trade associations that you're looking for the leaders. And when you go into these trade association meetings, go in with the intention of getting to know them. Spend more time getting to know the people in the room than being concerned about them getting to know you. Does that make sense? Right? So when you go into the room, one of the things that I'm looking for is, some of you young guys don't remember E.F. Hutton, but when E.F. Hutton, the old commercial was, when E.F. Hutton speaks, people listen. When I go into a trade association meeting, I'm looking to see who some of the leaders are. Who are people gathering around, some of the leaders that we can identify to say, hey, look, these people are people of influence. When you're looking for industry leaders, you're going to see people that people are gathering around. The third way to connect with industry leaders is through small groups and mastermind groups, right? So in your community, are there mastermind groups like there are in Conduit you can participate in and get to know industry leaders? What we know about leaders is that leaders that I want to be associated with are leaders that are working on growing themselves personally and professionally, right? So find the mastermind groups that are going to house all the influential leaders in the marketplace and join them, right? Gives you a great opportunity to get to know them to get to know you. Mastermind groups are a great platform for you to connect with industry leaders. The fourth way to connect with industry leaders is through professional introductions, which in the residential trades, we don't do a great job of this, but who do you serve that one of your friends doesn't currently serve, right? So as you're looking at a network, so my company is a B2B2C business, and so other friends that have a B2B2C business, or if you're B2C or B2B, whatever, you can find other industry leaders to do professional introductions. Professional introductions can be done in person at a trade association, which we talked about a second ago. It could also be done through email or texting. But one of the ways to connect with industry leaders is through a referral and recommendation, and we would call that through a professional introduction. The fifth way to connect with industry leaders that you may not have thought about before is, can you host a luncheon or a happy hour, which we actually do this, where we'll host a happy hour and we'll invite in a bunch of architects, and then we'll invite in maybe a builder or builders and remodelers, and we will literally help sponsor the introduction of industry leaders, right? So again, considering your industry, what are some of the parties that you have access to? So in my case, it's architects and custom home builders or high-end remodeling contractors that they would benefit from knowing each other. And myself at Alluring Glass, what I can do is I can actually sponsor the luncheon to say, I'm going to bring in 3 to 6 architects and I'm going to bring in 3 to 6 high-end remodeling contractors, because they need to know each other, and I'm actually going to be the one to broker that introduction. Does that make sense? So I'm going to sponsor a luncheon, I'm going to sponsor a happy hour, and I'm going to bring these two parties together. And what's interesting about this, if you think about it, is short term, the benefit is for them, long term, the benefit's for me. It's a great way to influence two different parties where it is very generous for you to do, you're still going to benefit long term, but in the short term, they're going to benefit, right? Don't miss that. If you can create a value add where these two parties benefit in the short term, you got to trust that you will benefit long term, and I believe that you will. So that's the fifth way to identify and connect with industry leaders. That probably that fifth one isn't one that a lot of people have thought about before, and I think it's a secret sauce to connection. So to recap, the 5 ways to connect with industry leaders is: number 1, through social media; number 2, through trade associations; number 3, through mastermind groups; number 4, through professional introductions; and number 5, that many people haven't thought of, is brokering the relationships at lunch or in happy hours.